But then when I watch people, when the universe does put it in front of me and they do kind of say, hey, poke, poke, look at this person. Hey, nudge, nudge, talk to this person. Hey, watch this video, watch this movie. I'm always fascinated by the validation. We put our own human limitations on something that is not human, on an infinite energy. And so peeling that away becomes the purpose. And how do we peel that stuff away, I guess, would be the next question, right? So first you have to see it. First you have to recognize it, right? First you have to be so self-aware that you recognize your own stumbling blocks. And that's exactly what I was talking about that rolled me into this big old long spiel about this, was those moments where fear keeps us from moving forward on things that we know that we should be doing, where we spend too long in the planning and the thinking and the worrying and the wondering and not enough time in the actual action of doing it. So peeling those things away is what will allow us to move into that space. But we hold on to those things because they're comfortable. We hold on to that pain because it's comfortable. We find more stability in the pain of our past and the constructs that we have made from that past, our self-protection mechanisms. We find more comfort in those than we do in peeling them away and being exposed. And if we think of it like clothing, right? We put on clothing so that we are not exposed, right? When we peel that clothing off, we are now exposed to the world exactly as we are. And our vulnerability is showing, as well as a few naughty bits. Our vulnerability is showing. And so peeling away those self-defense mechanisms, taking them off, like we take off our clothing or armor, even if you want to think of it that way, is about vulnerability and admitting our open hearts, our pain, embracing those spaces. And as we peel off each layer of clothing, as we peel off each layer of armor, unless we truly examine it and dig into it and grab it, unless we really take a look at it and love it and forgive it and figure out, do I need to hold on to this or should I just throw it away? Do I need to let it go? Let it go. We hold on to self-defense mechanisms that we don't need. If I look at my own life, I will share a little story of my life. Y'all know that I always talk about my little life. Y'all know that when the universe gave me this mission, this message, and compelled me to come forward and speak, they said, speak your own message. Speak about your experiences through this awakening. So, one of the things in my life that I did was believe that sex equaled love. And so in my first marriage, I over-sexualized, and I had several experiences that I would not wish on anyone. I did things that I am not proud of, and all in that search to find love, right? So as I went into the next phase of my life, as I was leaving the first marriage, the abusive bits, I started putting on physical armor, right? Physical armor, layers of fat, layers of cushion, so that I would not attract attention. I was disappointed not only in the fact that I was not able to find love from people, but also I kept looking at what I was doing with my life and feeling like I had failed. And because I had such high aspirations before all of this started, of becoming a star, being a singer, being on Broadway, being an actress, doing all this stuff, and here I am at 22 with 2 kids, working in a crappy restaurant out of a terrible marriage and back at home. To justify that, I began adding more and more layers. Throughout my marriage, I added more and more layers of protection so that people wouldn't see me, so that I wouldn't shine anymore, so that I wouldn't be noticed by men. Now, I met another person, my ex, my soon-to-be ex, and we got married, and as I moved back, I'm in the working world, I kept those layers on me, and I shut down any feminine whatever, right? So that I could not attract attention, so that I would not make the same mistakes I did the first time around, so that I would not be noticed by the world and be forced to step out and be vulnerable with who I was. Even though what I wanted so badly was seeping out through all the cracks. I found a job where I got to sing every day. I was also working in a restaurant, but there I am plopping around singing opera in this crazy restaurant. Opera, put in quotes, I'm not a real opera singer, I just played what it worked. So that shine still tried to come out, no matter how much extra padding and armor and layers of protection I put on myself, right? So if we take that and put it back to the space that we were talking about earlier, where we're actually peeling away these layers, and as you take off those clothes, right, to show your shine, to show your vulnerability, that we have to really look at them and examine them and figure out, why was I wearing that? And what did I get from it? And how can I move forward without it? Because like I said, we get so comfortable in the structure, in the construct that we have built of protection from pain, as if that pain is still happening. See, now I'm 4 years separated. I'm in a very different place. I want to shine. I want to be seen by the opposite and the same sex, but on top of that, I've been speaking this message now for 7 years, wearing this armor over top of me. And while I've been peeling it away slowly but surely, I have that feeling that so many of us have, which is, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing it fast enough. I'm obviously not doing it right because people aren't hearing me, because people aren't hearing your message through me. I don't know what else to do to get this out. And I always hear back the message, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And so this process of self-discovery, this process of self-awareness, this process of peeling off the layers of me is very intense. And I'm sure that you're all going through something very similar, because in this society, in this time that we're in right now, this is that fear-based catalyst that we're all reacting differently to. And really examining that fear, rather than picking up the anger of it, rather than picking up the frustration of it and examining the fear underneath of it, is so closely connected to the fear of taking off our armor, our self-defense mechanisms, of letting go of those trauma and those sufferings that we have felt it's built me into the person that I am. Well, that's true on a positive and negative sense because of the duality, right? It not only brought you where you are, but it's also keeping you from where you're supposed to be going.